Welcome back, adventurers. Cameron here with TailWalkers Adventure Company. Today we're going to do a video that's a little bit different than what we've been doing in the past. We are starting a traveling fly box. And tonight I'm going to tie a couple of flies for you. We're going to put them in that box and we're going to send them to one of our partners, one of our friends, one of the TailWalkers Adventure Society members, one of our favorites. So without further ado, let's kick it off. First thing we're going to tie up for you is a thread Frenchie, Lance Egan's pattern, and we're going to tie that in a blue wing olive BWO Betis, version, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be using Hannock competition hooks. We are tying a size 16. I like the Hannock competition hooks. They just seem to stick fish, and they seem to stay on, and they're barbless. And I dig them, so that's what I use. We're going to be using the Hannock competition tungsten beads. We're using a 3 mil in this case. We're trying to get these flies down. In my water system, that helps. Getting these things down and slowing them down in that slower current down by the substrate. So that's what we're trying to get accomplished here. All right, I've got a couple of them already set on the hook. Let me tighten my vise down and I'll get this started. I'm a Renzetti guy. I like them. The Traveler is good enough for me. I am not a good fly tyer by any stretch of the imagination. I'm a good fly fishing guide and I don't have a whole lot of time to sit around and tie flies, which is why I tie these basic patterns, patterns that other guides, proven guides have developed and used. I am using, in this case, 7D denier light green thread, and just going to start it right behind the bead and wrap it all the way back to the bend of the hook. Just before the bend of the hook, really. I don't like to wrap mine back too far. And I'll clip it there. Uh-oh, don't mind me. Little solaries on the floor never hurt anybody. As long as we don't hit it with the UV, we're good. All right, from there we're going to get our whiting tailing pack. Wherever the heck I put that, here it is. This is what I use for my tailing. You use this, Coke de Leon, whatever you want to use. I don't get too technical with this stuff. I really just grab a few pieces, 3 or 4 good pieces there that I like the look of, pop them right off. And I like to err on the side of longer, right? I can always put them way up the hook and tie them in that way. And get it seated. And I'll back wrap just a little bit while I pull to the left so that I kind of get them right off the back of the hook. That's as far back as I need to go. I'm just going to leave my thread hanging there. I can leave these fibers up here for now. It doesn't really bother me. We're all good with it. Next thing, I'm going to use Semperfli superfine wire. This is a pretty dark fly, pretty dark pattern. These segments are going to be pretty dark. It's going to be hard for you guys to see this. Sorry, there's not much light in here. Hard for me to see it too. I push it pretty far up into the bead and then wrap it in from there. If you don't mind. Slide it back. Don't need to waste a lot. Don't need to build my body up any more than I have it already. Just wrap right on up to the front here. Just give it one more go around because I've got a loose fiber hanging there. There we are. In the opposite direction, I start segmenting this guy off. 1, 2, 3. Right up to the head. Give it a couple of wraps. Around each way, go back that way. Good enough. So a lot of people will twist this to break it off. Just seems to pull my flies apart. So I use an old pair of scissors. Be sure it's an old pair of scissors. I like my nice Renzetti stuff, and I don't want to dull my nice, however much they are, $25, $30 scissors. Now we're going to use some Prism Ice Dub, a UV eye stub here. I've got the pink in this case. The last two of these I tied were with purple. I don't think it really matters, to be perfectly honest with you. The thing about it is, with the dubbing, as always, less is more. I just get a bit of it on that piece of thread there, and I try and spread it out a little bit. The more spread out it is, the more I can kind of tighten it down around the collar and let those fibers really go to work. Twist it on there nice and tight. Good, nice and tight. There we go, all the way up to the head. Tighten the thread down a little bit. And start wrapping around right around the collar. And I like it pretty tight. I don't like to have it going in a whole bunch of different directions. Just a few wraps after that. Make sure it's real nice and snug up there. And we're gonna whip finish. 2, 3, 4. Snap. Make sure it's real good and snug so that doesn't slip anywhere on us. Give him a snip. Final step is a little bit of solaries on there. In this case, that helps darken up the body of the fly and really give it that kind of beta-y look. It also kind of seals our whip finish. Just a couple of taps is all we really need. Wrap back down in there. Try not to get it on your hands. It burns like heck if you do. Well, if you UV it, it does anyway. And then I'll use my rotary vise to kind of move that UV all around it. Give it a good, 8-10 seconds. And that's it, we're done. That's Egan's Thread Frenchie, as taught by Lance Egan himself. And, hey, what better can you get, right? Fish Hands Frankie. This one's coming your way. It is going in our traveling fly box, or Umpqua, whatever it is, bug box with all sorts of little compartments. Fly tied, in it goes. All right, now Frankie, I got one more for you. This one's a special one. It's my very favorite fly. If anybody watches my channel regularly, you don't even need to ask. You can know exactly what it is. It's a fly I fish coast to coast. It works coast to coast. Doesn't really matter where you're at. This just seems to work. It's good old-fashioned Pat's rubber legs. So I am tying this on a, in this case, size 10 Daiichi hook. These guys have got this little bend in the shank. Lance actually showed me this himself. And the reason that he uses this, the reason that I use this, is because when you put this 3.8 mil bead that I'm about to put on there, and you wrap it with a little bit of lead, like I like to do, it is going to, here's the hook anyway, I'm gonna take it back out of there for a third time because I gotta put this bead on there. It tends to ride very flat, like a stonefly would. Got my bead slipped on there, got it in my vise, got my vise adjusted right where I want it to be. Here are the little 3.8 mil beads. In this case, I'm using a black one. Frankie will love that. All right, now, this one I'm gonna use 140 denier dark brown thread. And I'm gonna start by wrapping in at the eye of the hook. And we're just gonna try and use a few wraps, back wraps, to kind of cinch that on there. We don't wanna create a lot of bulk because we're gonna be pushing that bead back up over the front of this. What we're doing right now is tying in our antenna. So I've got these things kind of pre-cut already. And I'm just gonna set it right here. I bring it to this side because when I wrap it in for the first time, make a really loose wrap, and then I cinch it down. That's how I get them to go out the front. Let's try that again. Gentle, gentle. There we go. Now we got them in the right direction. Boom, boom. There. And kind of just adjust them to where I want. And wrap them up to the front. Again, trying not to use too many wraps because I'm trying to pull that bead up over them in just a second. So I will snip off. I'll pull these kind of tight, snip off the butt, and back wrap back to the shank. Once I get back here, get it back on the hook shank itself, and I will do a whip finish. 2, 3, 4. Pull that nice and tight. Snip. I'm going to take the bead and pull it right up over the front, which puts those antennas sticking right out the front, nice and V'd, just how a stonefly antenna should be. Next, we're going to use our lead wire. In this case, it's hairline 020. Going to make sure these things get down. I just start by kind of going towards the middle or the back, and I just kind of curl that first one over there, and then I wrap back that way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll give Frankie a dozen wraps. How's that sound? A little twist, pop it off there, and then I'm just gonna push that right up, back to the back of that bead right there. Yep, get it nice and snugged in there. All right, now, back to the thread. We're gonna start wrapping in right behind that lead. We're gonna build up a little bit, and we're gonna back wrap a couple of times, and we're gonna go back and kind of build up a thread dam here. Getting it nice and bulky prevents that the lead from sliding. Not that it would, but it's a good idea. I saw it done somewhere else. All right, just kind of wrap back towards the bend of the hook. I'm gonna take another one of my, by the way, for my legs and my antenna, I'm using the Amber Sexy Floss, medium, size medium in this case. And for the tail, let's see if I can find a long, I'm just clipping myself a new piece here, because those are a little short for tails. Maybe not, no, it should be fine. Right there. So I am going to just take it, wrap it around in half, and start tying it in this way. It gets it to spread apart and stay together, and I can kind of work it like that. That's good. All right, next up is the denier. We are using Fly Fish Foods. I don't know where focus is, so this is what we're using. Fly Fish Foods, small stonefly chenille in black coffee. There we go. I've got a nice little piece of it cut off here. And first thing I do is I take the end of it and just kind of peel the fibers off so that it's just these two little pieces of black thread here. And that helps me just tie it in. Makes it easy to just kind of sit with that first loose wrap and cinch on there. Then we're gonna wrap that all the way up to where our lead is, about mid-body, to where that lead should be, and just kind of let that hang. Sometimes I'll actually take this guy and hang that way. And then what I like to do is use the rotary feature on my vise. Reverse wrap it twice, a couple of times. That guy up. There we go. Got him locked into place. Right back up. Just kind of let it hang. Now, need to tie in some legs. I just tie in 2 legs. What I do is I take it, wrap it around the thread, nice and tight. Stitch it in there once. Go on around. Bang. All right, got the near legs set up. Kind of maneuver them into the position that I want them in. Come on, near legs. Stay with me. Stay with me. All I want to know is who's staying with me. There we go. Beautiful. Right there. Nice and tight. All right. Take my other one. Last one that I've got cut, pre-cut here. And do the same thing. Try not to let the chenille wrap around the thread. Fold it over that guy. Pull it up to this side. Nice and tight. Cinch it in there real good. 1, 2, 3. Got them. All right, now we can slide these 2 legs back. Go around that way and work our way all the way up to the bead. And wrap real nice and good right in behind the bead. Now, we're going to take our chenille and continue to wrap, and we'll use it to kind of spread those legs apart, kind of get those situated now. 1 through there. Then we hold those 2 front legs back. Pull that way, that way, right up to the head, and then we'll take our thread over that way once, over that way twice, and then that way. Got our chenille locked in. Snip that guy right there. Peel these guys back and make sure everything's cinched down nice and good. We got our dark brown thread making the neck of this guy. And whip finish. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull that down nice and tight so it's good and snug. Right up there. And I like a dab of glue to get through that thread, if I can open my glue. It's been a while. Right around the collar there. Just let that soak right in. Frankie's gonna love that guy. That one's gonna tear it up for him. All right, that's it. We'll let that guy dry, put him in the fly box, and it's heading to Missouri. Hey, Fish Hands Frankie, go get them, tie me up a couple, send them back. Make sure they work. Thanks again, adventurers. We'll see you soon. GoPro, stop recording.